Hello students, so welcome to online biology class. Today is the sixth day of environmental issues. So whatever the topic we covered until today, so just revise the heading and subheadings only. So then we'll go to the next topic. So in the beginning of chapter we covered the pollution definition. After that air pollution and its control measures and case study we covered. So under that one the CNG case study we covered in Delhi. Next after comes water pollution and its case study. In that one many small definitions we studied. Biomagnification, eutrophication and the BOD related topics. Yes. Under case study the integrated wastewater treatment from the Arcata city we covered. After that solid waste management came. Solid waste means anything which will go out into trash, that is called the solid waste. So the proper management of the solid waste. So after that one case study we covered. Under that the Ahmad Khan who had developed the poly blend, that is a fine powder of recycled plastic which is used to lay down the roads one. So these are all the pollution and its case studies. In today's class, three small topics are there. So first one is agrochemical waste and their effects. Second one is a case study of integrated organic farming or organic farming only. Third one is a radioactive waste. Yes, shall we start? First one is a agrochemical and their wastes. First topic, agrochemicals and their wastes. So it is small one. So we will take the conventional agriculture practice one. So under that one, the wide variety seeds are used, even biofertilizers are used. So dependency of the chemical fertilizers are very negligible. Clear? That is a conventional agriculture. Agrochemical means, so as the population grows, the demand for the food increases. To fulfill that demand, the productivity should be increased in the agriculture field. That is the main objective. That's why the new hybrid variety seeds are developed one, specifically in America. So that is influenced the other countries also. In India also, in 1960, 1950, 60s one, the Indian central government has implemented the Green Revolution program. Hasiru Kranti ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. So Green Revolution program has implemented. Under that one, the government has supplied the means giving the water and electricity in uninterrupted manner, means ನೀರು ಮತ್ತು ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ತಡೆರಹಿತ supply ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, means electricity and water is supplied uninterrupted manner and fertilizers are supplied and the hybrid variety seeds are there. So this is implemented only in few districts of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. So from that only story starts. Due to the Green Revolution, what is the main in Green Revolution? So what is objective? To increase the food productivity. Clear? How it is possible? So it is possible only through excessive use of water, fertilizers and pesticides. Yes, so excessive use of water, fertilizers and pesticides, so only to increase the food productivity. So when you take the excessive use of water means it will create one problem. If you take the fertilizers, these are the chemical fertilizers. Pesticides means under this one insecticides are there, fungicides, then after, yes, herbicides. So these are all collectively called as the pesticide, only to get rid of the insects, fungus and the herbs. Yeah. So if you apply this one, the productivity increases. So this green revolution created some problems. What are the problems? So first problem, so the problem arises due to the green revolution. Problems means first one, if you take these pesticides only, either it is an insecticide, fungicide or the herbicide, so the pesticides are either narrow range or broad range pesticides. So what is the meaning means? Narrow range means, so these pesticides are used to kill the specific organism which is harmful for the crop field. Broad range means, so these pesticides will kill other organism which is not harmful in ecosystem. Clear? So means in broad range means unnecessarily, unintentionally some beneficial insects or herbs are killed on. So this is the main problem. If you use the pesticide which are implication with the broad range one, that will kill some beneficial microorganism or even the insects which will play the very important role in the ecosystem. First problem, so due to the pesticide, this one, so first problem, killing of some beneficial insects unnecessarily means simply pictorial. This is the agriculture land. Yes. So this black color dots are the some insects which are dangerous for the crop one, and these are the blue color insects which are beneficial for the crop field. Along with that one, this green, blue color, red color insects also there. Yeah. So if you want to eradicate this black color insect, specific, anyone, clear? So you have to use the narrow range insecticide that will kill only this black color insects only. Yes. If you use the broad range insecticide or the pesticide one, unnecessarily the insects which are beneficial for the ecosystem, they also eradicated or they are the victim of this pesticide. Unnecessarily they are removed. They are doing some important function of the ecosystem. This is the one drawback due to the use of the pesticide. Second one, fertilizers. Yes. So fertilizers, second problem. Fertilizers are nothing but the nutrients which is added to the soil only to increase the productivity. If we are using the fertilizer excessively, then these nutrients, either with the phosphate, nitrate or calcium, magnesium, whatever may be, so these nutrients are present in excess amount. So due to presence of excess amount of nutrient, sometime the microbes which are required for the decomposition or even the to fix the nitrogen one, that will damage. Yes. Second one, if these nutrients are present in excess amount, due to the surface runoff, these nutrients are added to the nearby water bodies. So ನೀರು ಬಿದ್ದು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗಿ ಸಮೀಪದ ನೀರಿನ ಆಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದು. So due to that one, the addition of this nutrient to water bodies, it lead to eutrophication of water bodies. So eutrophication is the next problem. What is the eutrophication? Eutrophication means it is the aging of water body due to nutrient enrichment. Water pollution topic ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ so if you use the nutrients one, these nutrients are added to the water body. So these nutrients will promote the development, means growth of the algal blooms. Gradually the algal phytoplanktons and algal blooms are replaced by the other plant community. So the water holding capacity of water body decreases. Barta water body ಏನಂತಲ್ಲ, that specifically fresh water body which is standing on. Yeah. So water body barta size ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿ gradually transform into the landform. So that is called the eutrophication. Fertilizers excess use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ eutrophication ಆಗಬಹುದು. So pesticide use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ some beneficial insects are killed one, so that is unnecessary event. So third problem, so which is related to the both one. Sometime if you take the fertilizers, either they are the organic chemical fertilizers or inorganic chemical fertilizers. So anything one, pesticides have some heavy metals. Yes, sometime whatever the persistent chemical, persistent ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು decomposition ಆಗುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, they remain as it is in the environment only. For example, if you take the DDT, which is an insecticide, some fertilizers also there, so they have the heavy metals one. These heavy metals and they remain as it is in the nature and they enter into food chain. So ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸತ ಈ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಹೆವಿ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಹೆವಿ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಫುಡ್ ಚೈನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವು ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ನು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ chemicals will not decompose also, will not metabolize in our body also. Their concentration gradually increase in the different trophic level of the food chain. That is called as a biomagnification. So third problem, biomagnification of persistent chemicals. So examples are again, for example, if you take the DDT is the insecticide, ಅಥವಾ 2,4-D ಅಂತಂತಿದೆ, 2,4-5-D ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Then after Eldrin. So these are some insecticide. So they will biomagnify and they enter into the food chain. So this is agrochemical and there is. Agrochemical means specifically fertilizers and pesticide. If you are using the water in the excess amount, this water will create another problem, that is the water logging. Yes. So ultimately, green revolution helped for the increase in the productivity of the India, specifically in case of rice and wheat. But that created some problem. Unnecessarily, some insects are killed due to the use of broad range insecticide, pesticide. Eutrophication of nearby water bodies occur due to the use of excessive fertilizers. So biomagnification of persistent chemical occur usage due to the usage usage of the pesticides. So this is the problem related to the agrochemical farming. Now what is the solution for this one? So the next topic related to this one, to avoid this problem, to conserve the biotic community, even to avoid the eutrophication and to avoid the biomagnification, the alternative solution is nothing but the organic farming, Savaiva Krishi. So the next topic is the case study of integrated organic farming, which will give the solution for these problems. Yes, so just wait for a second. I will grab this one. Yes, student. So green revolution in the more problem agbiಟ್ಟು, the killing of beneficial insects, due to the use of broad range pesticides. Eutrophication of freshwater bodies take place, that is the natural aging of water body, and biomagnification of chemical take place, that will enter into the food chain. Even the human beings are affected. So these are the problems due to the agriculture where the chemical fertilizers, chemical insecticides are used. Now what is the solution? The solution for this one is nothing but the organic farming. So now solution means organic farming. Organic farming means, in simple term, it is a Savayava Krishi. So what is organic farming means? It is a cyclic process in which the waste generation is very minimum, means even negligible. Yes. So it is a cyclic process. In this agriculture, many processes are carried out in this means agricultural land only. Clear? So it is a cyclic process where the waste generation is very negligible. So the waste product of one process is a raw material for the next process. Due to that one, whatever the resources are present in the agricultural land, it is used efficiently. Second one, due to the usage of these resources, productivity increases. Yes. So in green revolution also, we are going to increase the productivity. So in organic farming also, it is possible. So what is organic farming means? It is a cyclic process. Yes, it is a cyclic. Second one, it is a zero waste producing. Means zero waste producing means the waste product of one process will be raw material or another process. Yes, ultimately whatever the waste generated, it is a used only. Due to that one, what is the means? What is the goal achieved? What is the achievement means? What is the objective means? Efficient utilization of resources. Yes, whatever the resources are present in the agriculture land, either it is the soil, water, microbes, water, every resources are efficiently utilized. This is the first objective. Second one, increase the productivity of land. Yes, so resources are optimally utilized. Second one is the productivity of that land is increasing. So this is the main objective, which is means gain in the organic farming. So many examples are there, even in nearby areas only. Many examples are there. So, but in NCERT textbook, one typical example is given, that is Ramesh Chandra Dagar. So, who is a farmer of Sonipat village in Haryana. So, example, Ramesh Chandra Dagar is a farmer in Sonipat in Haryana state. So Ramesh Chandra Dagar has practiced the organic farming and you get the many benefits on what the practice means. So Ramesh Chandra Dagar, so they use many processes. So in agriculture land, they practiced beekeeping, dairy farming, composting, water harvesting, and even normal agriculture. So many more practices are there. So Ramesh Chandra Dagar of Sonipat of Haryana state, they practiced beekeeping. So beekeeping means jane monasatme. So apiculture, dairy farming means nurturing even cow, buffalo, goat, sheep. Dairy farming for the production of milk and the milk products. Composting means so either it is vermicomposting or the normal composting. Due to that one, the manure is produced one. Water harvesting means whatever water drops will fall on that agricultural land, it should be conserved for the future use. This is water harvesting and normal agriculture practice. So this is the cyclic process, means if you are practicing agriculture, here also waste is generated. If you are practicing the dairy farming, here also the human excreta is generated. So the waste of this process is subjected to the composting one. Here also waste is generated to the composting one. Yes, so it is a cyclic process. The waste generated from one process is raw material for the next process. After composting, the manure will come. Yes, this is nothing but the organic fertilizer. Now, if you take the beekeeping, so bee are the major pollinating agent in the agriculture land. This will pollinate, increase the pollination process. Ultimately, productivity increases, and honey also will get. Dairy farming, this is one process. Water harvesting means the dependency of the groundwater decreases for the agriculture purpose. So, like this one, whatever the waste is generated from one process is a raw material for the next process. So, by doing this one, so that's why this is a organic farming is economically efficient and sustainable venture, means business. If you are practicing only agriculture without following this one or other way the losses will occur. Yeah? If you are practicing many processes in the same agriculture land, if loss occur in agriculture, you will get the benefit in the dairy farming or composting. Ultimately, from every process, you will get the money. That's why it is economically efficient and sustainable venture. Sustainable venture means initially for 5-6 years you will not get the benefit. In the long term way, you will get the benefits one. Means by practicing organic farming, the fertility of the soil is maintained, the dependency on the chemical fertilizers decreases, whatever the manures or the compost generated from the agriculture land, it is used as a material, raw material only, and sometime electricity is also generated in the same agriculture field to fulfill the electricity demand. So by this one, the productivity increases and economically it is a beneficial one. So after many years this Ramesh Chandra Dagar has established one club, that is Haryana Kisan Welfare Club. So this is one organization, club. So in which now almost 5,000 members are present. Means whatever the knowledge or the wisdom he got from the organic farming, so the Ramesh Chandra Dagar wanted to spread that same knowledge to the other farmers home. That's why he created the Haryana Kisan Welfare Club, in which he inculcate or he will train the other farmers. So this is a case study of organic farming. Organic farming means uh, it is a conventional agriculture only. Many processes will carried out one in same agriculture land. That's why it is a cyclic process. It is a zero waste generating process. The waste process of one will be the raw material for the another process. So by doing this one, the efficient utilization of resources achieved. Second, the productivity of land is increased one. So Ramesh Chandra Dagar, he is a farmer of Sonipat, practiced beekeeping, dairy farming, composting, water harvesting, even agriculture. The waste product of one activity is a raw material for the next process. So ultimately, resources are properly utilized. That's why organic farming is the economically efficient and sustainable venture. So after that one, he created the Haryana Kisan Welfare Club. Almost 5,000 members are present in this club. So this is a case study of the organic farming. Now next topic is a little bit serious one, that is a radioactive waste. I think these two topics almost clear. Next one is the radioactive waste. That is also small 2 or 3 marks question quality topic. So next topic is radioactive waste. So what is a radioactive material? If you observe the periodic table, some elements are given in the bottom side. So these chemicals will emit the radiations. So these radiations are harmful, and some of them have the longer half-life period. They will remain in the nature as it is. Clear? So radioactive material means example uranium, thorium, cesium, strontium. These are the radioactive material. Yeah. So initially, the electricity is generated by using the water force and the thermal power plant, hydroelectricity and thermoelectricity. For example, if you take the Jog Falls, where the electricity is generated by the water force only. Clear? If you take the Raichur or the Bhadravati, where the electricity is generated by the thermal power plant. So these are the conventional methods. So in 19th century, the radioactive materials are also used to generate the electricity, because it is thought that it is a safer and a non-polluting one initially. The electricity generated from the radioactive material, it is safer and a non-polluting one. But later on, we come to know that this sector also has some serious problem. Clear? What are their problem? Now we are going to discuss. So radioactive waste means the electricity generated from the radioactive material is safer initially. Initially, it is thought that radio electricity generated by radioactive material is safer and non-polluting. Yes, initially it is thought that it is a safer mode and it is a non-polluting one. Now, the radioactive materials are not only used in the not only used for the electricity generation, the radioactive materials are used in the research field also. Even for the defense purpose, agriculture field, medical field. So radioactive rays are used for the medical treatment also. From this sector also waste is generated. That's why radioactive waste topic is there. So this is safer method. Now what is the problem of using the radioactive material means? So two serious problems are there. First one, accidental leakage. Accidental means mishap. Leakage means sorry, clear? Accidental leakage. So whatever the nuclear power plants are there throughout the world, clear? So they are the well regulated, but due to some reasons, radiations are released. Accident occurs. So during that one, accidental leakage occurs. So in history, three major events occur. First one is the 3 Mile Island. It is in USA, almost in 1979. Accident occurred. From this nuclear plant, radiations are released. Second one is Chernobyl disaster or accident. So it is occurring 1986. So 3 Mile Island is in USA. This is in Ukraine. Yes, one more accident occurred recently, that is Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. So in 2011, this is in Japan. So what are the? So accidental leakage means due to environmental disaster or due to the mishandling by the human beings. One, some accident occurs from this nuclear plant, radiations are released. Clear? So these radiation will contaminate the nearby water bodies, soil, even vegetation, and this will remain in that nature for the longer period. Similar thing happened in the Bhopal tragedy. Bhopal tragedy means methyl isocyanate, which is released from the Bhopal plant one. So that is still causing the effect in the peoples of the third generation people. Similarly, the radiation which come from this nuclear power plant creating the problem. Now it is a recurred one. So two examples are given in the textbook. 3 Mile Island in USA 1979 and Chernobyl disaster or accident in Ukraine 1986. Fukushima is in Japan in 2011 one. So from this nuclear plant, accidental leakage occur. This is the one problem. Yes. Second problem, disposing the nuclear waste. Means whatever the waste generated from any field, any sector, agriculture, defense or the industry or the nuclear power plant, waste is generated only. How they are going to dispose that? For example, if you take the water pollution, soil pollution or solid waste, they can be handled in the proper manner. But these are a little bit dangerous one. The waste generated from the nuclear power plant, so they are emitting the radiation. They have the longer half-life period. The radiations are either low level or intermediate level or high dose. Based on this one, the waste is categorized. So if the waste is mild or the intermediate level one, means if they are emitting the radiation one, these are not that much dangerous. So the low level and intermediate level waste can be treated and disposed in the proper way. Clear? So it is not dangerous problem. If the radioactive material is emitting the radiation of the higher dose one, then it is a serious problem. the radiation emitted from the nuclear waste material, if they are low level, so these are nuclear waste, they emit the radiations. If the radiations are low level or low doses one, then it is causing some diseases. For example, means cancer. So, if they are the higher doses or higher level, it is lethal to organisms. Why? Because so these radiations are mutagenic, means the radiation which are emitted from the nuclear waste, they will enter into your body or within a cell and they will damage the DNA or RNA and they will create the mutation. That's why even if you take the cancer, this is mutagenic one. If you take the lethal one, sometime death may occur due to this radiation. So that's why whatever the waste generated from the nuclear power plant, it should be handled with the caution. Means first priority should be given to this waste only. Yes, how they are going to dispose means that's why when you compare the waste or the pollutant which is present in the water, soil or the air compared to this one, they are not that much dangerous. The nuclear wastes are very very dangerous one. So how they are handled or how they are disposed? Yes, dispose means based on the quantity. If they are the low level or the intermediate level, they are pre-treated and they are concealed in a container and they are stored. If the nuclear waste materials are the dangerous, if they are emitting the higher dose one, they will emit the heat also. Yes, first one we have to cool that nuclear waste material. First one is cooling. After cooling, the quantity should be reduced one. Second one is compaction. Compaction means to reduce the size of nuclear waste. Compaction. Then packing. So this, the cooled compacted nuclear waste material are packed in some containers, either barrels or stainless steel or metallic container one. So these are the containers where the nuclear waste is packed. Yes, so it is a packed one. Then it is buried. Buried in the lower strata. Lower strata means, so this is for example, this is a nuclear power plant. Yes, where the electricity is generated. So from here only nuclear wastes are generated. Now the nuclear wastes are cooled, compacted and concealed in a containers one. So these are the containers in which nuclear waste is there. Now these waste material are buried in a lower strata, means from the surface almost 500 meter deep. From the surface one, if the rocky strata is there. Otherwise, deep oceanic trenches one. So these containers are buried in this rocky strata. So this should be stored here only. So almost 500 meter deep from the mean sea surface. So that's why whatever the nuclear waste generated from the nuclear power plant, it is a higher priority to dispose that one. It should be cooled first, to reduce the heat radiation emission. Compaction means to reduce the size of the waste material. Packing means it should packed in the container. So after that one, sometimes these containers are packed in the concrete slabs. So these RCC slabs are the big RCC slabs. Within that one, so these containers are. So these are the containers. So inside that one, nuclear waste is there. So these RCC slabs are kept inside the soil, 500 meter below from the surface level. So sometimes these containers are kept in the water bodies also, in the oceanic beds. So, but recently means even then, the environmentalists are opposing for this process because these have the longer half-life period. If anything occur, from this site also radiation may release. This will contaminate the water body, groundwaters also, even the soil also. That's why the nuclear wastes are the very dangerous. It should be pre-treated, concealed and packed and buried in a soil almost 500 meter below the soil. So this is about the nuclear waste material. So today's topics are very small and little bit vague one. The forthcoming topic, the greenhouse and global warming, ozone depletion and the deforestation. These are little bit serious issues for the mankind one. We are going to cover these topics in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day.